Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Guile here, and welcome back to the Forged Alliance Forever promotional series. It's, I was about to say tip-top pro level, but it's not. It's upper middle pro level custom 1v. It doesn't have quite the same ring to it, but stick around anyway. You might enjoy it. Upper middle custom 1v1 pro action on the cards this afternoon. And you say, why did they just play ladder? Well, they wanted to try out a new map. So it's a new map as far as I'm aware, and it's certainly a new map to Galcast. So I'm excited, I'm ready, you guys are ready, and the players are sure as hell ready. So let's go on over to the game zone and see how they're going to get on. Chang, ka-chang, instant loading, and that's what we like to see. And the new map is called Mentor, vaguely reminiscent of, what's it called? Craftiest Maximus turned on its side. Only completely different. Sorry, not really, but the channels aren't there. But you know what I mean? It's essentially what I'm saying. It's a rectangular piece of green. There we go, just switched on its side. All right, let's take a look at our players up here at the top left in the purple corner. It's none other than one of FAF's favorites. It's Chosen going UEF, his very customary regal purple there, going first land, second air, and his opponent down here at the bottom right in the red corner. It's archsimkat, or archsimkat. I'm going to call him Arch for today, just because it's I'm lazy and it makes my life easier. That's always good. He's gone Spiky Space Socialist, cybering Ferrari red, opening first land, going second air. Let's switch it up so we can keep an eye on their glorious green openings. Oh, I did not hit the right key for that. Jeez Louise, it's not going well today. There we go. So it looks like opening build, nothing too diverse here. It's all very normal, all very binary. We've got Land Factory, 2P Gen, Core Mechs, and then what looks like 2, 4, 6P Gens after that for Arch, and Chosen's going for 2, 4, 6, 8 or 9 P Gens on top of that, just getting more or less that most of that ring of P Gens around what will be his air factory there. So that's essentially the build order. First engineers out, scooting off over to pick up mechs. Very first one out for Chosen is going to get a mechs plonked down for associated land factories for the adjacency bonus, and another 8 P Gens there. What did Arch do with his? Well, he is going to get a couple of linked factories there on a mechs further up, just the two of them with a radar. And any other surprises down here? Not as yet. Lab out, and is it Lab? No, excuse me, Mantis out, and a scout as well, a mole there on his Todd. Looking for some goodies to go kill. Let's take a look at the map since it's a new one to Galcast. We've got a few little cheeky civilian numbers going on. So we've got some couple of Ioshifers there, some T2 flak up on these ridges here, these little raised plateaus of very unusual shape and texture. Each have got 4 mass on them apiece, so flying over those, especially with your T1 inties, will be very bad for your health initially in the early game. And they've also got these, how annoying, a couple of deceivers there, so that's going to be putting all sorts of false radar signatures up when they get their intel going, and generally making life difficult. One there either side of the middle and one there, and I'm not really sure what the purpose is for the sonar system. Perhaps somebody can tell me, but a civilian sonar system, one on each side there. So otherwise we've got those 2 plateaus mirroring each other, another 2 plateaus down this way, and then a very small kind of blobby one on each side, and then it's this kind of weird fractal pattern of 3 kind of passes. Well, actually technically it's 5 if you count these out here, and little patches of mass dotted around. So core mass on each of the starting locations seems to be 3 mechs a piece, which means potentially if all of these are starting locations, it's quite a large number of players that this map can actually host. So check it out, guys, if you're looking for something new to play. Certainly looks like an interesting one. Big ring of ocean, of course, around the side, so you can get your naval play. We all know how you like to play with your navals. And not only that, bases are definitely in range. You can sneak some missiles over those very low-lying cliffs, or even find these little chinks in the cliff edges there to get some shots. But check out this Aurora or something that's going on. It's either an Aurora or we're playing inside some giant rotating mint lolly. It's kind of what it looks like. And when I say lolly, I mean lollipop, not some strange underage Japanese fetish. On they move, having taken out an engineer there over in the west. Gets a couple of hits down on one of those mexes, off up towards, he was hoping, I guess, would be an engineer by that hydro, but nothing there as yet. Scout plane flies just past that flak, managing to not get himself shot down by it. So fortunate enough for him. Couple of strikers for Chosen, trundling after another Mantis and Scout that went the other side of the map. So it looked like Arch went for a two-pronged early harassment attack with one Mantis and one Scout apiece. And now, predominantly, most of the spam seems to be heading from Chosen's base, going southeasterly on towards Arch. Arch has pulled his comm out, presumably to scoop some mechs over here. Check out the geysers. I don't remember those being part of the repertoire of resources for map makers. Haven't seen those before. Very, very cool. Starting to get... somebody's going to tell me a whole bunch now of maps where that features, but it all seems new to me. So if that is some clever way they've introduced that into the maps, then well done you, whoever figured that out, whichever boffin made that happen. Strikers do turn up finally over here, only to meet a readied force of Mantis lying in wait. A couple of engineers sitting outside their factories over here trying to get operations up and running. A missed opportunity there to stall that production, but again, Chosen's attention no doubt elsewhere. Mantis dealt with over in the west, but another engineer down by the looks of things. Taking a look at who's doing better in total mass, Chosen ever so slightly ahead. It's almost neck and neck. He's just ticking up there a little bit quicker than his opponent. He's on 37 mass per tick. Generated eco up to 39 now versus the 33 of Arch. Sneaky little band around the bottom of the main landmass here, leading an assault on these three mexes. 2 mech marines, 3 scouts and a striker, chasing down that engineer. What it is with the water on this planet, maybe it's very, very windy. It seems to be exceptionally fast flowing when you zoom in, and yet not flowing anywhere. Large, heavily laden skyhook heading down to this position down here, which has just been put under pressure. Another engineer taken out there, so that it's like 3 in this area has been downed to Chosen. So Arch has pushed all the way up here. It's got a new forward base up and running, almost has its own T1 PD in operation. And Chosen's little vanguard force over here, almost getting into Arch's base. But that will be the end of that pressure as more reinforcements roll out to deal with it. Another skyhook heading northwest. Ooh, gun upgrade on the way for Chosen. Be pleased to see that I finally knocked off that idle engineer mod for when I'm not playing. It's going to be a feature, I think. Randomly popping up, but a decent amount of stored up mass there for Chosen, so that should get completed pretty quickly. Now, where did that actually get shot down? There's a lot of interceptors lying in the way. Yes, it did. So that little cheeky drop went cheeky nowhere. That engagement's going to go to Chosen. Currying engineers about the place. That little engineer got a whole airlift for a pure reclaim mission. Not actually that much there. Well, there's 175 in that blob there. It's not actually listing what's going on down here, though, which is interesting. So I don't actually know if that's accurate on how much mass is up in that top section. Those little blobby islands off to the side. Arch pushing deep into enemy territory now with his comm. And that's so far unupgraded, so no extra hit points, no extra utility, build power, damage, you name it. Needs to be a little bit careful here. And he hasn't realised that that's been taken out by the PD up here. Radar now online. The second he starts trying to build that, it's like, nope, denied. That's the problem. When he didn't see what took it out, he might have thought that there was a Lobo down here or something. Go on, try it again. That second PD goes up there for Chosen. This will be a bad place to be trying to push. It's not going to happen, my friend. Valiant effort, though. Wow, so Chosen got gun. He's now got nano virtually, and he had drone as well. So Chosen with a cheeky comm. Look at that. Cheeky, damagey, reppy, buildy comm. On the stompy stomp through the middle. Gonna pick up some free points towards veterancy here, just brushing away these stationary mantis. So potential ground to be gained there in the middle. So now he's got some Medusas up with him to deal with those point defense. Chosen's going to respond with a T1 bomber, I would imagine, going straight for the Medusas. There are Sky Slammers in attendance, so he's probably only going to get one pass. One pass is all he needs. 5 or 6 Medusas bite the dust. In one bombing run, he took down one T1 PD, but there's another one there. Arch determined to grab this position just south of Chosen main base, and you can see why. That's a great way to springboard attacks into the heart of Chosen's territory. He's pushing pretty hard up through here as well, but Chosen pushing hard down the middle now. He's plumbed a lot of resources into commander upgrades. How's he actually doing on eco right now? Well, it's almost neck and neck. Not a lot between these two. He's had 4K more overall. Nice pickup on the interceptor grab. Caught a lot of them napping with his comm while they were landed on the ground, and then brought his own in. Surprise secondary force lurking nearby, though, for Arch. I'm wondering if that was deliberate. Excuse me. And look how close he is to the main base now with the commander. Arch not that far away from Chosen's base either, but now getting harassed with his attention on what's going on over on his side of things. He's lost that land factory. Totally could have avoided that with a little bit of extra attention focused that way. We're going to have to go to split screen now, because this is now 2 separate theaters. An incursion leading into Chosen's base from the south. Does he have any base defense? Not at the moment. He's looking a little bit vulnerable. Still funneling units off towards the center. He's trying to curtail this threat with T1 bombers. Trying to get some T1 PD up now. And the Stinger gunship, that should help. How much damage is his base going to take, though? One plasma cannon got up and running. And with a second Stinger out, the first one does get shot down, surprisingly enough. More pressure coming in along with Archer's comm. Chosen, meanwhile, has just walked up to this base and is just wailing away at it with his commander. It does upset me that it's not even sound between the two. I guess that would make it too noisy. Why they don't just halve the game volume between the two screens rather than have a primary side on the left. Not sure if that's something that's moddable for FAF devs. Certainly you make a nicer viewing experience, but Chosen now taking some Cerberus turret fire. Archer's got his defenses in order back here. He's going to lose some fringe structures perhaps. But Chosen with that nano repair and then a ranking veterancy. Pretty chunky. And now Arch chooses the time to engage. Chosen still in range of those Cerberus turrets as he finally then strays out of it. You can see sometimes the best form of defense really is attack. Archer's entire focus shifted there onto base defense, and the land attack petered out for a moment. Stinger's now being caught napping by interceptor pressure in the skies. Do we actually have any interceptors on the field for Chosen? I don't think we do, so that's partial air dominance for the time being for Arch. There's a very vulnerable looking P-Gen there, but he's focusing down the Cerberus turrets first. You can understand the methodology behind it. Take those out. He's got free reign to do a whole lot more damage. The T1 PDs up here have already been taken out. Down go the Cerberus turrets, and the T2 P-Gen is next. It absorbs an overcharge, and then he has to switch up to the T1 spam, but in comes a T2 gunship from Arch this time, and as you've just seen, Chosen's a light on the fighter front, but he does manage to take down the T2 P-Gen. What does that do to Archer's eco? Well, nothing too terrible. He's still in positive energy, although not by a huge amount. And look how well he's absorbing this damage with those upgrades. Pretty happy as Larry for the time being. In come the gunships. He's going to use the gunships to take care of the Whaler. They're then going to go to work on the new T1 PD that's been erected in the base. Chosen's going to bring the comm back in. Engineers for Arch very hurriedly try to get new PDs up and running. Meanwhile, Arch simultaneously launching an attack on Chosen's base. Engineers copy the format and go for T1 PDs. They manage to get one up right off the bat. It's badly damaged, promptly gets taken down by Medusa Fire. Now Chosen back on Arch's base, looking very, very lonely as all of his support units have been taken out and he's absolutely surrounded. But can they take out the comm? That's the question. He's tanking the damage very, very nicely and whittling down those units all the time. Chosen down to around 13,000 HP as we speak. Down again now to 12,000. That's about 60% now, or approaching 60% of that full base health. He does have an out here, and he's got subs and a frigate guarding it. He can just dip down into the water. The question is, will he make it? 8,000 hit points and falling. There's a lot of T1 spam in the area now for Arch. I think we can go to single screen and get the volume back on the action, because it's absolutely crucial. Now, crunch time for Chosen on this side of the map. 3,000 hit points and falling, but he's going to make it, I think, barring a catastrophe, into the water there. And Arch very wisely going to back off with that spam. taking fire from that thunderhead. Or he's going to focus it down because he's got a whaler. Inties will deal with the whaler, but the rest of the spam will take out the frigate. I think the frigate, or Chosen, missed out an opportunity just to knock that back a touch there and stay out of range. But he'll be happy that he's got his comm away. He's out on about 3,100 hit points. Now, what has that done to map control? Well, answer is it's given an awful lot of potential map control over to Arch. Yes, Chosen has this base up in the top corner, which we haven't really talked about very much. And he's funneling a line of T1 spam down towards Arch's main base. The main body of units is pushing up from Chosen's base at the moment down through the center. But all of this down here and in pockets up around here, this is currently under Arch's control. Chosen, by the looks of things, still just ahead on generated eco. Won't take him too long to rep back up though. 80 hit points a second he's getting at full veterancy with that nano upgrade. Out of the water he comes, gets to work on those air factories which are currently lying idle for the time being. Chosen just funneling a line of spam down the center, probably wants to get them to regroup, but yes, I'm very concerned. If I was Arch, I would be, for my base and what's going on here. Chosen's comm, annoyingly persistent, hard to kill. But in terms of blobs and infrastructure elsewhere on the map, not looking too bad right now for Arch. Radar down, Hydro about to follow up here at the top. That'll be the end of that little outpost. Chosen once again getting locked onto by a gunship, and now a new bank of Cerberus turrets that's gone up at the back of Arch's base is going to cause problems for Chosen if he wants to get back in there and wreak more havoc. Interceptors for Chosen, locking back in on those gunships, but there's a lot of inties lying in wait for Arch. I don't think he's going to get there with any significant number. They're all pretty much going to get shot down. Chosen makes it back to the waterline, and I'm beginning to think, because he didn't manage to score any major critical wipeout in this main base, that Chosen might be bowing out here. Might not be able to get back in this. He invested so much into the upgrades on that comm, and now he might just be behind in the rest of the game. We're looking at eco now. Is Chosen power locked? No, he's not. So Arch up on 90 mass per tick, Chosen down on 66. That's a dramatic reversal of fate and what we've seen from the rest of the game. Chosen still ahead in total mass accrued by about 2k, or 1.5. Not a great deal, and that total will be shrinking dramatically now that Arch has got the lead on generated eco. T1 bombers out en masse. It's actually Archer's comm there. I'm wondering if Chosen has any idea. I'm guessing he doesn't, otherwise he'd probably try some kind of torp bomber rush to pick that off. But that was a beautiful bombing run. Took out an awful lot of something. I'm not sure what, because I was waffling on about the comm. And Chosen's gone. T2 lands, got some pillars out now. Just look at the map, look at the amount of red compared to purple. Chosen looking like he's going to be more and more throttled into this top left quadrant. Getting some work done with some gunships about the map, pushing out with some T1 bombers, but in terms of ground dominance. Unless he can make something really happen with his newfound T2 ground prowess, he's going to struggle. And that T2 HQ is right up front as well, so target of priority for Arch. If he can take that out, it's going to be tough, with pillars steaming out of the factory and 3 PD up front. Chosen moving away with his commander. Where's his waypoint set? Well, he's bringing it right the way around the corner, the bottom corner of the map. He's well aware now that it would be ill-advised to continue to try and pressure that main base. And Arch doing a really good job of not yielding the air to Chosen. Mixing in lots of Sky Slammers into his armies as well. Whaler attacking the main base from Arch with very limited success. Another one parked on a double yellow down here. He's about to get the ticket of his life. Takes off, only to get shot down in spectacular fashion. Pilot's brain was liquefied there by the G-forces. It's a nice little image if you're watching this during your tea. That one's free of charge. And to my southern English friends, I have not permanently gone northern. My tea is, of course, at 4 o'clock with cakes and toast. Not to be confused with dinner or supper. I'm sure I'll trigger some northern outrage for that one. While I'm at it, mashed potato has no place at roast dinner. Yes, I said it. Deal with it. Mechs down and out. Up at the top. Lots of gunships sent to deal with that little expeditionary force, though. And deal with it they will. Let's do a quick count on air power. So we've got 28 T1 inties there for Arch. Chosen on a rather less impressive 13. Chosen's comm still marching around down here. Look at those naval yards. I'm surprised Navy hasn't featured more heavily so far. It looked like it was about to, with that sub and thunderhead that came to Chosen's rescue down here. We've got one sub over on the east belonging to Arch. But if he succeeds with these factories, this could be an interesting development. Gunsheeps. Gunsheeps featuring. Oh my goodness! I should just stop here. Gunsheeps featuring heavily right now. You knew what I meant. Gunships featuring. This is why you come here, not to hear what I do say, but what I say wrong. This is the whole purpose the channel exists, I'm certain of it. Lots and lots of stingers and whalers getting work done in this one as interceptors tangle over the site of that last air raid from Arch. Relatively even numbers initially, but it looks like it might go Chosen's way, and then he'll get to work on the gunships, and now it definitely will as a new squadron involves themselves in the activities. was a lovely engage there for Chosen, but just look at the amount of red compared to purple on the ground. This is Chosen's sphere of influence right now in here, and look at all of the empty mexes. All these have been picked off. Chosen down to now 65 mass. Arch up on 190. I'm sure a lot of that's reclaim related. Just built something pretty big and power locked himself. But look at that, 2 ion reactors there. As he control K's old factories and starts reclaiming them. But Arch steaming away with this one. Chosen has not recovered since his assault on the base with his comm. Those upgrades and everything didn't pay off. Very unfortunate for Chosen. And now it would be the monumental comeback of the century if he could pull this one off and come out with a win somehow. And that is what Chosen can see, as he's power locked badly. He's gone straight for T3 land. He's now trying to get a fusion reactor up and running. He's got some kennels going on to assist with the build. So, having seen predominantly T1 only land from Arch. In fact, have we seen any T2 land from Arch? Not convinced we have, you know. He's gone T3 air, but Chosen very much T3 land. I'm wondering if he's going to be able to find a way now to reassert his control in the ground game. Now that he's marching Percival's out, he could really save some cash or save some mass and spit some Titans out, utilize their speed and just run over a lot of this down here now. It's all T1 spam. Could open up this side of the map completely, but for the time being he's pushing down through the middle with a heavy band of T2 partially shielded. Got skyboxes in there, we've got pillars, a couple of mongoose. Arch has got stealth on there, and he's going for T2 as well. Definitely could do with some Titans, but hello, strap bombers turning up now to harass the base. This could be very bad for Chosen. His inties are tangling with ASFs over in the middle, but there are now 2 strap bombers harassing the base with a 3rd en route. Beautiful shot, knocks out the mass, assisting all 4 of those factories, making everything more expensive out of those. Take down the T3 headquarters. Actually, that's the T2 headquarters. So he's upscaled one in his main base. That is an expense. Didn't fancy putting that T3 headquarters over here. He has managed to upgrade his air factory to T3 amongst everything that's been going on. Band of T2 we saw on the ground is getting assaulted by a strap bomber from the sky. 2 of them now, and this will be the end of that little force. T2 completed on the comm there for Arch. He's going to go for T3 now. Chosen just getting whacked from the sky with no right of reply. Those naval yards that he went to work on, they never really got building anything. And they've now been discovered and been taken out by cormorants. Torpedo bombed to death. I'm really not seeing any window back for Chosen into this game. Snags a Percival. Surely he could go all in after the base. The amount of strats lurking around. Yeah, we're seeing the odd ASF pop out from Chosen. What are we seeing on the ground in terms of anti-air firepower? We do have a SAM in there. Well, he's got a few of them, in fact. He's got 3 of them, so that's why he's giving it a wide berth. And he's quite happy, Arch, just to work this aerial advantage. Spam pushing up the middle, and finally we have some tech. He's been holding it back. Missed out T2 completely. He's just gone straight for bricks. They're going to be pushing their way up the center. Replicator heaven right up the middle. Pillars fare well for a while, but numbers beginning to overwhelm. Chosen finally out of the sea with his comm, continuing to move. And really, you just get the feeling he's been kind of lost this game since that first attack didn't work out. Been playing catch up, but operating on only a fraction of map control needed. There are those Titans we were hoping for. Engineers hurriedly throwing up defenses. How much will he get back, if anything? Whalers turn up on the spot, going straight after that vulnerable Percival. In come the ASFs for Chosen, but it's more or less even in terms of ASF fighter numbers. Maybe Chosen has 1 or 2 more. But out pops a bouncer out of this T3 factory. He's now got a solid reinforced point for his tech up front. Another bombing run in bound from a couple of strats. Going after the base. So an exposed shield, sorry, PGen up at the top. It absorbs 2. In fact, I didn't realize it could take 4 by the looks of things. One of the strats got shot down. There goes the other one, but it does get a bomb off. Oh, just 1 strat shy of taking that out. Might as well send the gunships in there right there. But no, decides not to. Interesting decision. Finally, after their laborious march up the center, the bricks make contact with the outlying base and its patrol force. And Chosen throws out the GG, having been caught out down at the bottom with a combination of torpedo bombers, and I imagine strats as well. And Arch takes the game. Well, very well played. Definitely an interesting map, though. I don't know if that's the most interesting game you could have on it. It really did feel, it felt like Chosen, after that initial attack on the main base, pushed through the center. He did a lot of damage, to his credit, but for what he'd plumbed in terms of resources and what he'd devoted to it, to that comm, he needed really to cripple this base, because he then went for ground tech, and all the time he was losing map control, and points couldn't keep up with Arch, and Arch just slowly ground him down with aerial attacks. But hope you enjoyed it, guys. There's always more to come from me in the future. Don't forget, if you feel so inclined, please consider supporting on Patreon. A huge thank you to everybody who does. But until next time, guys, stay well, stay home, and stay safe. This is Guile, signing out.